in the 2014 NBA Draft, the Cleveland Cavaliers select Andrew Wiggins from Toronto and the University of Kansas.
The jubilation of Andrew Wiggins. Last year, Anthony Bennett said that perhaps Canadian players would go back-to-back at number one. The consecutive drafts, 3 Canadians have now been picked in the top 5 of the Common Era draft, all of them by the Cavaliers. Andrew Wiggins, Anthony Bennett, and Tristan Thompson, all of whom are teammates and have the Cavaliers' future in their hands, assuming that Andrew keeps that cap.
Yeah, Reese, with the second pick in the 2014 NBA Draft, the Milwaukee Bucks select Jabari Parker from Duke University.
This is what the Bucks needed, a star to revitalize their franchise, a guy who put the ball into the bucket, a guy who averaged 19 points and nearly 9 rebounds a game in his one season at Duke, led the team in both categories, and he's going to be a guy that the Bucks try to re-energize their franchise around. They didn't get the #1 overall pick, but they might have wound up with the best guy for them.
Well, certainly the best offensive player. He's a versatile scorer that scores inside and out. He's a guy that can put the ball in the deck and get to the basket. He's a terrific finisher around the basket and in the post. Around the rim, shoots 56%, 1.2 points per possession around the rim. Also steps out to three-point range. He can be a ball handler in pick-and-roll situations, which he was earlier on in the season, and learned different places where he could score on the floor. But he's also an outstanding rebounder, about 9 rebounds a game. Productivity-wise, he compares favorably to Kevin Durant and Michael Beasley when they were in college. Both came out and were #2 picks in the draft. But you've seen him around the rim, the way he can score. The only problem that he has is he's not a focused defender. He did not have a great season defensively. He did not show a great awareness on the defensive end. That's something where he's got to get a lot better.
And for me, I'm nervous again.
Thank you. With the 3rd pick in the 2014 NBA Draft, the Philadelphia 76ers select Joel Embiid from Yaoundé, Cameroon, and the University of Kansas.
He seems confused.
I think Joel knew it was
Get Joel some coffee.
Embiid recovering after surgery on a broken navicular bone. This is the guy that, Jay, you believe is the top talent in the draft.
I do think he's the #1 overall prospect. 7 feet tall with a 7'5" wingspan. Enjoy your favorite beverage. There'll be more to come later. But he can run. He's got great hands, amazing feet. I'm telling you, Reese, I mean, I'm not saying he's going to be Elijah Wan, but you put him side by side as freshmen, you cannot tell them apart. He's a rim protector that's got defensive range. He doesn't just block shots around the rim. He can move and block shots and block them outside the lane. And on the offensive end, he can post up and score with his back to the basket. And he keeps adding things to his game. He can step away, knock a shot down, turn around jumper. He's got a jump hook. He can play pick and roll basketball. He's got terrific feet. And his hands are terrific. And he's going to get better and better and better. His productivity per 40 minutes, 19 points, 14 rebounds, almost 5 blocks a game. The kid
enthusiastic at all about being drafted, and this would be the happiest day of his career.
We should get a refund on the camera we used.
He was excited.
Okay.
You got to think about the satellite delay.
Oh, okay, good.
Okay. Well, you might have questioned whether Joel was enthused, but the...
With the 4th pick in the 2014 NBA Draft, the Orlando Magic select Aaron Gordon from the University of Arizona.
Oh. There's the first somewhat surprise of the night, but it's certainly not due to Aaron Gordon's athleticism. He was a Pac-12 Freshman of the Year, first team All-Pac-12 in his 1 year under Sean Miller. Terrific rebounder, shot blocker. Offensive game probably needs a little bit of work, but the Magic looking for a dynamic type player, and they certainly got one in Aaron Gordon.
Well, they got maybe the best athlete in this entire draft. He finished 1st or 2nd in just about every athletic test
with Burke after his rookie year.
With the 5th pick in the 2014 NBA Draft, the Utah Jazz select Dante Exum from Melbourne, Australia.
Exum, a rangy guard, but a young guy. Hasn't played a lot. His entire future seemed to turn. Let's see if he can keep Bill's heart from stopping.
With the 6th pick in the 2014 NBA Draft, the Boston Celtics select Marcus Smart from Oklahoma State University.
Marcus Smart, who likely would have been a lottery pick had he come out after his freshman year.
No, he would have been the #1 pick, I think.
Probably so.
Yeah.
Comes back for another year, and he's 6th overall. So before we talk about Smart, what is this signal for Rajon Rondo?
Well, I think they can play together, but it probably isn't the best thing, though. I like the pick. I like Smart. I think he's so competitive that he's going to figure it out. I think they could play together, but if I'm Rondo, I'm not happy.
Let's ask somebody that's not a Celtics fan. That means Rondo's days are numbered in Boston. I'm pretty sure he would want it that way.
So Marcus Smart.
With the 7th pick in the 2014 NBA Draft, the Los Angeles Lakers select Julius Randle from the University of Kentucky.
Speaking of tough, as Marcus Smart was, so too is Julius Randle, a left-hander who led that talented young Kentucky team to the national championship game. Laker fans happy with it. Bill, I know you're high on Randle as well.
I really like Randle, and I don't like the Lakers, so I'm disappointed right now. But these last 2 picks are really good, and I think both of those guys are going to have a chip on the trade possibilities with this one, Reese.
With the 8th pick in the 2014 NBA Draft, the Sacramento Kings select Nick Stauskas from Mississauga, Canada, and the University of Michigan.
And another player from Canada. 2 Canadians picked in the lottery in consecutive years. And boy, this guy, Jalen, really improved his game coming back in his second year. Did much more other than stand still and shoot.
Absolutely. When you play with Trey Burke and Tim Hardaway Jr., you have to take a back seat somewhat. He improved it.
With the 9th pick in the 2014 NBA Draft, the Charlotte Hornets select Noah Vonleh from Indiana University.
Vonleh played 1 season with the Hoosiers, averaged 11 points, 9 rebounds per game. Big Ten Freshman of the Year, and he led the conference in rebounding. And he goes to a Hornets now, Hornet team that made the playoffs last year.
Well, he's the most productive power forward per 40 minutes in this draft. You said he led the Big Ten in rebound, but he also led it in catch and shoot percentage, and that includes Nick Stauskas. He's not the shooter Nick Stauskas is, but he shot 48% from 3. He's got an unbelievable 7'4" wingspan as a 6'9" guy. His hands are gigantic. They're bigger than Kawhi Leonard's. And he's got a lot of potential to be really good. He's still a really young kid. He's not even 19 years old.
And Jay and I argued about him at our draft preview yesterday because I thought he was marked too high in the draft. He was going 4th. Didn't make sense. They didn't make the tournament. This is a nice spot for him, though, number 9. I think this is the right range for him.
You put him with Michael Kidd, Gilchrist, who's a defender, not much of a shooter. Kimball Walker can break you down off the D. And obviously Al Jefferson down low, so he can become like a stretch 4. I compare him more so to Horace Grant. I think he's going to be a 15 to 18-foot shooter that can make threes, not necessarily spotting up at the three-point line.
The interesting thing is he's 247 pounds already, which is basically the same size that LaMarcus Aldridge is. So, you know, he's an interesting player, but I think this is the right range. I thought if he had gone 4 ahead of Smart and Randle, it would have been weird.
You know, and he could step away and stretch the floor, which you like. I mean, he's such a young player. 1 year in the Big Ten, he played really well, and I think he's got a chance to get a lot better. So he was the best available player here at number 9.
The Philadelphia 76ers select Elfrid Payton from the University of Louisiana Lafayette.
Dan Issel, hoping to get back to the glory days. Here's Adam Silver.
McDermott.
With the 11th pick in the 2014 NBA Draft, the Denver Nuggets select Doug McDermott from Creighton University.
Doug McDermott led the nation in scoring last year. He's the 5th leading scorer in the history of college basketball.
With the 12th pick in the 2014 NBA Draft, the Orlando Magic select Dario Saric from Šibenik, Croatia.
Big Croatian forward.
With the 13th pick in the 2014 NBA Draft, the Minnesota Timberwolves select Zach LaVine from UCLA.
Zach LaVine, a terrific athlete. Not a starter typically for UCLA in his freshman year. But the biggest thing, perhaps one of the most valuable assets you can have, Jay, is selections tonight.
With the 14th pick in the 2014 NBA Draft, the Phoenix Suns select T.J. Warren from North Carolina State University. With the 15th pick in the 2014 NBA Draft, the Atlanta Hawks select Adrian Payne from Michigan State University.
I like that pick. So do I.
Classic stretch four.
Him hugging the people with him. Adrian Payne decked out for this after a terrific career at Michigan State. Came through real difficulties as a youngster.